in America, you got men asking women what they bring to the table. Can she split the bill? He'll stay home while she works. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's crazy because around the world, people pretty much understand, as a man, you're a provider. And these are the same men in America that complain about modern women, that women ain't feminine, they're masculine, they don't know how to cook, they don't know how to clean, they don't follow my lead, they're not submissive. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck would a woman be submissive to a guy that she's paying for? Why the fuck would a woman sit here and not act masculine when you're putting her in a masculine role? Why would a woman sit here and follow a man that's her equal? You're her equal. Would you follow somebody? Would you follow and listen to a coworker who has the same level as you? I ain't listening to you, motherfucker. I listen to the manager. You're not my boss. I'm not following you. I'm not listening to you. And that's the same way women see it. It's hard for women to follow men who ain't acting like men. What do you expect?
This whole mentality of 50-50, wallahi, it's so muhrij. I've seen it happen, right? Husband, he takes his wife out to lunch, right? They're sitting. As soon as they finish, the bill is brought. Everyone's taking out the money. Huh? The wife is taking out half of the money, and the man is taking out the other half of the money. من أين جاء هذا? Where did this come from? None other than the Westerners who have set us standards that we are not in need of. From that which Al-Islam came with, my brothers and my sisters, is honoring the woman in such a way that even if she's a multi-billionaire, I never said millionaire, I said billionaire, does she have to contribute a single penny to the bills of the house? La wallah. Whose job is that? That is the husband's job. She wants to help out, no problem. Jazakillahu khayra. May Allah Azza wa Jal reward you with good.
What is up, YouTube? This is your girl Jessica Catherine, and I'm coming to you guys with another video. Now, this video is going to be about men and women and relationships and how we view gender roles in the Western society, specifically in America, and why is it that so? So I'm going to start off by describing the roles of a man and a woman in a relationship. And I want to be specific and say in a relationship because when you're single, you can do absolutely whatever you want to do. When you are single, you only have to worry about yourself. You can be selfish, and you can take that time to really get to know yourself, to find out if you want to be in a relationship or not. But when you make a conscious decision to be in a relationship, unfortunately, you're going to have to conform to these following roles. And there's a big world out there. You don't necessarily have to follow these roles in their descriptions, their job descriptions, if you will. There's a lot of people out there in this world who probably, don't expect as much in a relationship. Maybe they want to do it the non-traditional way. Maybe they have non-traditional values. And the great part about this great big world is that if everybody's being upfront as to what they want in a relationship and what they think the description and the role should be of their partner, if we were all upfront about these things, we will be able to see if the people we're dealing with, or the candidate, if you will, can fulfill this position in your life, this job in your life. Because what people like to skip over is the fact that being in a relationship, it's a job, it's a duty, it's a responsibility. And in order for things to work, there has to be structure. As a man, you should want some structure in your household. You should want some structure in your life. Your life should be well structured and organized, as a man. So it would behoove you to Know these roles, know what you expect, what you want, and move forward accordingly. But as far as wanting a traditional relationship, as far as what works all over the world, as far as tradition, a man's role is to be the protector and the provider. Now, when I say protector, you must know how to use weapons. You must know how to protect yourself and your family. Okay? And not only protecting physically from harm, outside harm, you need to learn how to protect your relationship. You need to learn how to protect your emotional relationship with your spouse or your kids. You need to learn how to protect all things that's dear to you, like your money, like putting money aside just in case you get hurt. You have to always protect yourself and your family if you choose to be in a relationship as a man. And men should want to provide. They should want to be, the one that his family can always depend on for whatever situation. Considering that you are the head of the household, you have a greater responsibility. And with greater responsibility, you need structure. You need discipline. Men tend to forget how important they are in everyone's lives. As a woman, we're all out here, trying to get chose, but, well, some women, if you want to be in a relationship, there's a big world out there. Some people don't want to get chose, but if you're trying to get chose, you're going to wait until you find the right guy to settle down with, nest with, have children with, and basically build your whole life. But men need to understand how big a responsibility that is and the importance of that role and move accordingly. So, being the provider, you will want to be the provider for your family. You will want them to be financially stable. You will want them to not want for anything. And the reason being is not so much so that the woman doesn't have to work, so she can sit home and twiddle her thumbs. No, that woman is supposed to be doing her job and fulfilling her role. Whatever you give a woman, she's going to multiply that. You give a woman a house, she makes it a home. You give a woman sperm, she has babies. You give a woman affection and love, she's going to triple double that on you. You give a woman groceries, she makes you food. And that's just some things just for people who don't even know, the severity of how women can multiply one little seed. So don't just think that your money is going to, nothing. You need to be with a woman who knows how to grow your dollar. Be with a woman that knows how to run a business, how to stay on top of the bills, as far as when to pay them, when they're due. Take your clothes to the dry cleaning. If you're that type of businessman, always keep your clothes neat. Always keep your clothes washed, cleaned. Yeah, you're supposed to be a maid. And I'm not even just saying that. I hope women don't come down my throat. But yeah, that's one of your jobs. If your man is taking care of you financially, you are his maid. You are his chef. You rear his children. You basically do everything. You're his employee. You basically do everything you need to do to help that man and make his day as smooth as possible. So yeah, you might run some, business errands for him or do whatever it is that he needs to do, because you're like his extra arm, his extra 2 set of arms and legs. You take the money, you learn how to invest. You learn how to open businesses. You don't just sit home. You take your kids with you, teach them about businesses, start opening up businesses, franchises, multiply his money and his wealth and his success, multiply his peace. As long as that man is not allowing you to go to a 9 to 5 every day, because picture this, how are you going to maintain in your feminine and cater to this man when you have to work an 8-hour shift on top of that? You already got and be his porn star on top of all of that and keep yourself up. So yes, clean the house, pack his lunch, cook his dinner, make sure everything is in place for when he comes home. Make sure you keep yourself together. Keep his, visual package together. Take care of yourself. All these little things that man would have to pay for if he chooses to be in a relationship or a single father. But what man wants to work a whole 8-hour shift and then come home to no food and then cook his own food and wash his own clothes and still be, having sex with females who got their own place and it just doesn't make sense. You guys might as well, put it together, work together. We're not meant to be on this planet to be alone. A lot of people are trying to, try to cope with the fact that maybe they just going to be alone for the rest of their life. But here in the Western world, we need to realize what's going on. Everybody's not playing their position. Nobody's playing their roles. Everybody's out of balance. That's because we lack culture over here. America is too big of a melting pot for there to be one culture over here. It seems like our culture is sometimes men versus women, black versus white, this versus that, Democrat versus Republican, red versus blue. It's always, we're dividing into so many categories. We got LGBT versus heterosexual people. The melting pot is just always so divided, and that's all we know. And it could be a part of a bigger scheme to keep everybody fighting and not focused on what's going on behind the scenes with the government. But it just leads to so much confusion when we are trying to create relations over here in America, because everybody just tends to forget their role. Or, everybody feels so free to have, options and opinions over here that everybody just always wants to fight. And that's because there's no structure. Everybody's don't know where to go. We know where to go. You guys know where to go. But we all know women are supposed to be cooking and cleaning. We all know that men are supposed to be going to work and bringing home the bacon. We all know these things. So whether you choose to be one of those men who want to be 50-50 or don't feel like you do not have to be the provider, that's because you are out of your element as your masculine. You're out of your masculine. The same way a woman can feel like she's working and she's a CEO and she don't need a man, she's out of her feminine. We all know these things, but everybody's acting slow. So I'm going to make this video short. So to eliminate confusion in the beginning of your relationships, make sure we all communicate what we expect we should be doing and what others should be doing in a relationship, and realize that it's a responsibility that has jobs. Jobs have descriptions. So if you're a man and you're working all day and you're providing, you shouldn't have to come home and cook anything, clean anything, wash anything. Your woman should be doing that. And if you're a woman and you're not making money, or you're not making, you're not the house of the head of the household, that means you're supposed to be, doing your thing. And you don't want to work no 8-hour shift and then have to come home and cook and clean and take care of the kids and do all this. It just don't make sense. Whenever somebody is stepping on somebody, the other person's role, or if, you're a man and you got to come home and do your woman's job, or if you're a woman and you got to do your man's job, somebody's being overworked. Now, that is a 50-50 we're talking about when The woman's doing her job and the man's doing his job. But as far as the 50-50 some Westerners talking about, as far as money is concerned, check this out. What happens when the woman is making more money than you? Now, all of a sudden, you feel inferior to your woman. You look inferior to your woman. I don't care what nobody says. If a woman's making more than you, it makes you look less of a man. It is what it is. So everybody should be playing their own role so that the woman's not stepping on her man's toes and the man's not stepping on the woman's toes. Y'all both need each other. You know? So if you like this video, really like this video, comment below as to, how you guys feel about traditional relationships. And if you don't want to be in a traditional relationship, you don't have to be. Just don't be in a relationship with somebody and not know their morals and not know how they want to live their life and how they want to build their future. Don't be a non-traditional man with a traditional woman. And that goes for vice versa. A lot of people like to get into relationships and try to change people when you really need to just get to know people up front and figure out if y'all programs are going to match. Are y'all on the same page? Are y'all even in the same book? So a lot of guys, they feel like, oh, a woman don't have to pay for nothing. She's just, taking. She's not worth anything. But besides the fact that she's going to be your maid, your chef, your porn star, the mother of your children, the woman who's furthering your legacy as a man, besides those jobs, a woman is risking her freedom by allowing you to provide for her, to be her sole provider. A woman is risking her freedom. Let's say things don't go right, or let's say whatever the case may be, a woman will be stuck with those kids. And now, if she hasn't set aside money for herself, or if that woman doesn't have a business for herself, she's going to be without, income, because all this time she's been resting in her femininity and she's been allowing you to take care of all the bills. And now she doesn't have money or ways to means of herself. So a woman is risking a lot when she decides to enter a relationship with a man and allow him to play his traditional role, being as though she's going to need him, And the whole point of everybody playing their job is for everybody to create a need. We all want to feel needed. So just as much as that woman needs that man to provide, financially and security, that man's providing, needing her to provide all those comforts, being kept, being cared for. That's what a woman's job in return is for her man. So if you like this video, really like this video, don't forget to comment below. And that's the reason why women start to make their own money, because men fail to realize the importance and the gravity of their role and responsibility. You have people's lives in your hand. And when that's the case, you cannot be irresponsible and you cannot be without structure. Traditional roles are structured that way in relationships so that nobody is overworked. And it's like a symbiotic relationship where both partners create and work together as a team. So comment below if you like this video, really like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. Bye.